What's up, foodie gang? We're back with another video. We have a golden Oreo apple pie with an Oreo crumble and Oreo crust. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell. This is going to be fun, easy, and it's going to taste really good. So let's get into these ingredients. I will have everything listed in the description for you guys. Of course, we're going to need our green apples, our butter, cinnamon, nutmeg, brown sugar, and weight, bourbon vanilla extract, and the key ingredient, our double stuffed golden Oreos. That's right, look at that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make a crumble, and we're going to make enough crumble to make a crust and the crumble top. So we're going to go ahead and put the golden Oreos inside of the food processor, and you just want to process them about this consistency. You don't want them too small, but you see the picture, you got it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and divide this. So we're going to start off by making our crust. So we get another bowl, and we're going to put half of the mixture in a second bowl, and we're going to go ahead and make our pie crust because we're going to need to set that aside for some time. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put a whole stick of butter in there, and with the whole stick of butter, that's going to basically combine the ingredients as far as the Oreo and then the filling. But you see, my mixture is a little too wet for me, so that's why you have the extra mixture. So I did go ahead and put a little bit more in there so that way it can be the right consistency that I want, because again, we're going to be using this to make our pie crust from scratch. And look, 2 ingredients, butter and of course the Oreo cookies, and then we're going to make our pie crust. It's super easy, and it tastes really good. You can eat it just like that. Okay, so you go ahead and get you a deep dish, aluminum pan, and just like that, you're going to make your crust. So you're going to go ahead and make sure it's evenly spread out. You don't want it too thick and you don't want it too thin. You need it just right. So we're going to speed it up so I can show you guys exactly how it looks before we put it in the freezer for about 15-20 minutes, so that way everything can set. Look at that. I was taking some bites of everything while I was doing this because the crumble tastes amazing with the butter. And there you go, you see, deep dish. Look at that, it's deep. I'm pressing the sides just to make sure everything is, nicely even. I'm going to go ahead and get all that set to the side. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make our crumble top. All right, so this is same thing. We're going to add some butter. We have our leftover Oreo crumbs, but we're going to add some flour. And again, I'll have all the ingredients in the description. And the reason why we're using flour, because this is going to go on top. We don't want it to burn. And again, you don't want it the same consistency as the pie crust. You want it to be more like a crumble. All right, just like that. See, super easy. 3 ingredients for that. But let's get into these apples. So look, I got this little apple slicer or peeler off of Amazon. I'll put the link in the description for you guys. This is really fun and it's easy. Nobody got time to be cutting all them apples and trying to core them. But look, make a nice spiral, and you're just going to go ahead and cut those in half once you get everything peeled. So just like that, and look, I cut them in half and we have our apples. Super easy, fun. Nobody got time to be cutting everything all day. Okay, next we have our cinnamon and nutmeg. We're going to coat the apples with it, and we want to make sure everything is nice and evenly coated on the apples. Okay, just like that. All right, so I love speeding everything up. Next, we're going to go ahead and cook these apples. So we're going to get everything all combined and cooked, because we do want to pre-cook the apples to go inside of the pie filling. So remember, our pie crust is inside of the freezer for about 15-20 minutes while we're doing this. So we have our butter, we have our brown sugar, and we're just going to basically combine all these ingredients to make our filling. Typically, apple pie filling is clear. I like mine a little dark using the brown sugar. You can use white sugar, but brown sugar give it the aesthetic that I need to show that bourbon up in there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put all that in. Again, we're not going to cook it on high. We're going to cook it on like medium low. We're going to kind of make sure things kind of combine slowly, melt, and get all that flavor up in there, just like that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get that stirred up, and you see how everything is nicely combined and nothing's burning, and See that? That's that bourbon vanilla extract right there. That's adds a nice kick to it. You know, vanilla extract, you can just use it without the bourbon, but what's the point? Look, you got to take it up another notch. You got to do some new things. But look at that sauce. That sauce is nice and dark. The apples are nice and tender. And again, we don't want to cook it too much because again, this still has to be baked. And look, look at me putting a little dash up in there, another dash of that bourbon. Got me stumbling over my words. You think I'm drinking bourbon now? But look, that's how pie crust. I took it out the freezer, and you see how hard it is. See? Just like store-bought, but you made it yourself. Like I said, super easy. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take our filling. Now, what I did here was I took a spoon, but I realized that I was putting too much of the mixture inside of the pie crust, and I don't want it wet, so I needed to switch the spoon and get a slotted spoon, just like that. So that way I'm putting more of the apples in, and then I can control the amount of mixture that goes into the pie filling, just like that. And at the end, you take that reserve, all that bourbon, brown sugar, and butter, and then you go ahead and you put it on top just like that. And then once you put it on top, you can kind of judge. You do not want it to be too wet. It will thicken, but again, this is an apple pie, not a sauce pie, okay? All right, it should look just like that. You see? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take our crumble. Remember, we made a second bowl of the crumble with the butter and flour, and this is the reason why we need to put this on top. And you want to make sure that you do cover the apple pie completely. You don't want to have any of the apples uncovered. You want to make sure everything's nicely covered, and it looks really, really pretty just like that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get those edges. Yes, get those edges in. But we're going to go ahead and cover everything up just like that. And look, after 45 minutes on 350, this is our pie. Again, depending on the oven, 30 to 45 minutes. Cut it. It comes out just like that. You do want it to cool for at least an hour or two before you cut into it. And look, we have our golden Oreo apple pie. This is good. Hit it with some ice cream. I had it with some vanilla bean ice cream. It is amazing. Look, thank you guys for stopping by. I have all the ingredients listed in the description. This is Eats with Twan. Thank you again for watching. Have a blessed day and happy holidays.